My name is Miriam Socoloff. So I'm going to start by quoting an Allen Ginsberg poem that I think speaks to my work. Let the mercy of the flower's direction beckon the eye. Let the straight flower bespeak its purpose and straightness to seek the light. Let the crooked flower bespeak its purpose and crookedness to seek the light. Let the crookedness and the straightness bespeak the light. Allen Ginsberg, 1956. So these are plein air paintings that I did in the Michigan Dunes, close to Lakeside, Michigan, close to the Galen River, and close to Saugatuck. And I call that landscape of the Michigan Dunes the landscape of my heart. It's been a place that I've gone to since I was a little girl. As a child, my cousins and I explored those woods and dunes with complete freedom that certainly would not be possible today for children. And I've returned to that landscape over and over throughout my life, and it's been a great source of inspiration. Now, one of my artistic obsessions, I would say, is gesture in both figure drawing, and you can't find a better topic for gesture than dunes, grass, and the woods, because it's in a constant state of movement and beautiful gestural lines. So what I do is I walk through the woods and the dunes, and I find a spot that I will call my subject, and I set up an easel and start to paint, and I stay there. I might return on a second day as the light changes, or I might just keep going straight through with notes as to light. So this is a painting called Where the Woods Begin. And, you know, everything is discovered as I walk through the woods, and I just park myself and work there. My general MO is to try to respond to and paint every blade of grass and twig and leaf that I see. This painting is a little bit different. It was done after I came back from Japan, and I think I brought back with me a more minimalist approach, but that didn't last long, and I reverted back to drawing every blade of grass and leaf and twig that I encounter to the best of my ability. This is a pastel, and all of my paintings in this show of the Michigan Dunes are painted on paper. They're either painted with acrylic on paper, or they're mixed media, acrylic and pastel, and in this case this is a pastel. And sometimes a subject is so expansive that I will put two pieces of paper together so that I can create a larger painting. This is another pastel. It's the riverbank on the edge of the Galen River outside of Union Pier, Michigan, and that is a very, very beautiful spot, full of wildflowers in the late summer, and just full of light and movement. Capturing the landscape can be overwhelming. There is a lot going on there, and you have to take a deep breath and try and nail it. Another painting on the banks of the Galen River outside of Union Pier, Michigan. And water has always been something of a mystery to me, how to capture it. It's in constant motion. It's even more challenging to me than grass and twigs and leaves in motion. So I figured this is something I have to get a grip on, and I really enjoyed making this painting. And here are two gouaches on paper. They're acrylic gouache on paper. This one is called Gold Grass, and it's my attempt to capture the movement of the little tips of dune grass that turn gold at the top and are kind of a deep red at the bottom, and just kind of twinkle and sparkle as the light hits them. And this is also a gouache on paper. It has some of the same dunes grass tips happening in it, but I also came upon some beautiful wildflowers, blue wildflowers, and they were a very, very brilliant sapphire blue. So those are my 7 paintings that are in this show, and I was very, very happy to be part of the show with my colleagues, 10 Chicago women artists.